All right, it's 7 o'clock. We'll call the regular village board meeting to order. Everyone rise and say the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Marevka? Here. Jones?
Here.
March?
Here.
Parker?
Here.
Ham?
Here.
Bowden?
Here. Approval or corrections to the minutes of the February 10th, 2020 regular village board meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes as presented? If not, a motion to accept as presented.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Jones, seconded by trustee March.
Jones?
Yep.
March?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Bowden?
Present.
Ham?
Yes.
And Parker?
Yes.
Accounts payable and payroll pay period ending 2/20/20 in the amount of $54,259.36. Accounts payable, general fund, $98,319.74. Capital improvement fund, $4,155.20, giving a total for all funds, $102,474.94. Are there any questions on any of the bills or the payroll? If not, a motion to pay the bills and the payroll.
A motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Ham, seconded by trustee.
Ham?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Public comment and/or questions on any non-agenda item. To go into reports of committees, village administrator report.
I don't have a written report in this packet, but I just want to give you two updates. If you were interested, on March 31st, Will County Governmental League is having a lobby day. Mayor and I plan on attending that in Springfield, and I just wanted to make you aware, and you're all welcome to attend. What we did do was put I-57 interchange on the on their priorities list so that we can make appointments with legislators and let them know that that's a priority project for us. So it's on a map with everybody else's projects, so it'll be displayed and prominent for them. And so we can start kind of getting that out there, and as we were talking about in committee of the whole, kind of advocate that for ourselves as we move forward. And so we'll be out there for the whole day and be making appointments and going around and talking about that as a priority for Peatone. And then I just want to let you know that we did put new swimming pool regulations in place, and that so any pool that's 24 inches or higher will require a building permit, and it will need a barrier and appropriate electrical and setback requirements. So the building code inspector will be kind of doing an inventory of the community for any existing pools that will need to be updated to meet the code. And then we'll be putting out information for people who are going to be doing new pools like that. So that'd be like the on-ground type pool and any above-ground pool. And we just want to make sure that those requirements are in compliance.
Any questions for the administrator? All right, police chief's report.
I'm just watching weather.
Are we ready?
I'll let you know after the weather.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we end up
People can
getting.
drive. Hopefully they'll drive safely, slowly.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that the treasurer requested, that if you have any outstanding attendance sheets or anything that needed to be submitted for payment, if you could just do that before the end of March so she could pay it in this fiscal year.
And while we're talking about snow, just a reminder to everybody, after 2 inches of snowfall, no parking on any village street until the streets are plowed curb to curb. So I think we're probably looking at more than 2 inches. So just in anticipation of that, be reminded of that. And then I'll also, before I forget, remind everybody that village stickers are available and due to be purchased by the end of March the 31st.
I have a comment on snow.
Yes.
Like on 2nd Street and Main Street, you shovel the walks and into the street. We need to have Public Works come by late in the day when the snow is stopped, or early in the morning before traffic comes in, and run along that.
And they do that. I know what I normally do, I mean, I normally participate in shoveling the whole block on my side of the street, try to get that snow out there early in the morning before we get a lot of cars, and then I'll call Public Works and they'll come down and get it out of there before we get a lot of cars, parked down there. But I know they're down there, but once you get cars parked there, it becomes difficult to get it out, so.
I don't know, everybody had it cleaned off by 4 o'clock, it was over. And the next morning, all the snow was still, everybody that parked had to go over the top.
Right.
So-
No, and I agree, and I'll make mention of that to Bob.
Thank you.
Nope, no problem. Yeah, unfortunately downtown, like we've talked about before, there's no place else to put it besides the street. You can't put it in your pocket, so. Engineers report.
Yeah, Will County Governmental League right now has their call for transportation projects out. The only federal route in town is West Street that's eligible. So after talking with Amy and Bob, we want to apply for resurfacing of West Street from Corning to Joliet. It's kind of a simple project similar to the Corning resurfacing right now, and it's something that could be applied for now in the hopes that it gets funded at 80% in the next couple years. It's not very likely it'll get funded right away with the way their current funding situation is. It might be kind of a filler project if another project doesn't meet a letting or needs right away and can't get it. The resurfacing projects right now are kind of filler projects, and they'll say, hey, this one fits the budget, and they'll tell you about it and give you the funding. So it's just kind of something to apply for and see if they grant the funding in the future.
What about Corning going south?
That's what I was gonna say, what about Corning to Wilmington Road?
That's for that project, then that would be a reconstruction where you need a IDOT phase 1, and you need, if you're doing storm sewer and curb and gutter and everything like that. So it's not really good to apply for those unless you have a phase 1 started or completed, really, to get the points you want to try to really get funding. That's the way it's been now. The phase 1's no longer eligible for funding. It used to be. So I talked to Amy about it, if that's something the village wants to budget for a phase 1, for the upcoming year or future years. We think the better path would be to get a phase 1 started or even complete, and then apply for that design and construction funding in 2 years from now when the call for project comes back.
How much does that cost?
Does what cost?
The phase 1, I mean, what,
We estimated it at $140,000
to do the study?
Just do the study.
Yeah.
What about sidewalks? Are sidewalks completely done? I had somebody ask about the Joliet Road and Rathje Road. It's like not even a full block because their son's going to be going to high school and there's no way for him to walk. They said it was kind of dumb. He has to take a bus from his house to the high school. If
We
that's
don't
what it
have
comes to.
anything planned right now for new sidewalks.
Okay.
No, not right now.
Told him I would
Yeah.
ask.
And that's not a federal route, so that's not something we can apply for.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good discussion for Saturday.
Yeah,
That dip in the road by the fire station, after you went down Joliet Road and made the curve, has been fixed.
It's fixed, yeah.
Who did that?
county, I believe,
They did?
yeah.
Yeah, county.
I believe it was county. Yeah, I noticed that too.
It took 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years, multiple phone calls, jumping up and down. Anything else, Troy?
No, that's all I have.
All right, treasurer's reports in your packet. Any questions or discussion on that? No old business, move on to new business. Item A, Peatone Chamber of Commerce, special event permits. We got the chambers here with us today.
Yeah.
Come on, step on up. All right. So number 1 is Peatone Community Garage Sales, June 19th and 20th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is kind of an annual event. And we normally waive the $5 fee for garage sales as part of that. So I'll add that to the application. Do you guys have anything you wanted to say about that one?
Garage sales?
Garage sales?
Pretty much same as they always are.
Friday and Saturday.
Okay. So a motion to approve the special event permit application for the garage sales on the 19th and 20th of June from 8 to 4, waiving the $5 fee.
I'll motion it.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Marevka, seconded by trustee Parker.
Marevka?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Number 2, Peatone Block Party, 19th and 20th of June, downtown area with street closures of 1st Street to Railroad Street on Main, 2nd Street to North Street, and half of 2nd Street after North Street, and North Street from 1st Street to Railroad Street.
We got it.
Got it? All right. And that's the same as it has been the last couple of years?
Yes, nothing's changing.
And First Railroad, don't those run parallel?
First
From First to Railroad.
and North Street from First to Railroad. So North Street from First to Railroad.
Okay.
Yep.
Adam. Done. Confused.
Okay.
All right, we're all good with that, chief?
Yeah.
Were you gonna have that big tent again?
Yes,
Same spot?
same spot.
And we'll work out all the logistics, like we've done the last couple of years with Public Works, Police, Fire.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee March, seconded by trustee Jones to approve the special event permit application for the block party.
March?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Number 3, amplifier permit for the block party, same dates, same times, same place.
Time is wrong on
The time is wrong. What time does we go to?
Friday would be 5 to 11 p.m. and Saturday would be noon to 11 p.m.
Did we go 11 last year? We did?
Bands end at 10:30.
Okay.
And then we end it at 11.
Okay. Discussion? Not, motion to approve?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Jones, seconded by trustee Marevka.
Jones?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
And are you doing a beer tent this year?
Yes, I didn't fill out the liquor or application for the liquor license.
Okay.
They can't get the insurance until 2 months before the event.
Okay, so just bring that back in, we'll get it on a future agenda.
Yeah, we had the same timing issue last year.
Yeah, we normally waive, yeah.
Okay, we'll put that in the motion
Okay.
for the amplifier and the liquor.
As far as the event, the operation is going to be very, very similar to the past, some newer stuff, but nothing major change.
Yeah, like I said, as soon as you have all of that, just bring it back in and we'll get it on an agenda and
Okay.
get it taken care
Try to
of.
get it all set up by noon on that Friday. Is that right?
5 p.m.
5.
It starts at 5.
So you're gonna get all, everything will be set
It'll
up.
start at probably 7 or 8 a.m.
Don't get all the
Oh, that's what I picked.
the risers and the
Yeah.
barricades.
Yeah, that'll all be done on Friday.
Morning.
All right.
So just that our section will be closed down most of the day on Friday, but nothing on Thursday.
All right,
All right, thank you.
nope, thank you.
Thanks.
Number B, letter B, business registration, the Ice Box Creamery. Come on up.
Hello.
Hello.
For those that don't know me, I'm Jake. This is my wife, Melissa Kulach. We're proposing a ice cream parlor on Main Street. We just bought the building, in September, we purchased the building, formerly known as Teresa's Pizza on Main Street, 116. What I'd like to do is pass out this little, yeah, 5 minutes. You guys don't mind grabbing one, passing it up, please? Thank you. So as a Peatone native, born and raised here. I've been able to witness downtown Peatone go through some great development, some where we are and where we've been. It's exciting for my wife and I to be a part of the renaissance or the movement into downtown Peatone. So what we're proposing is a creamery called the Icebox. If you look on the first page, this is kind of a neat picture from the historic book. This is what Main Street looked like in 1914 after the Peatone fire of 1913 when they rebuilt. So the building that we purchased is the first one with the strips of limestone that go through it. What's really neat about this building is that it still looks like that. It's definitely a historic piece of Peatone, and we're proud to own that. And where our plans are to actually restore it back to original 1914. So if you flip the page, this is what it currently looks like. I think we're all used to the green awning and the yellow siding, which served its purpose. I mean, Teresa's Pizza was in business for a very long time. It was a great thing for the community. They've since now, we've purchased the building, so now it's on us to kind of, grab the reins and make this thing something really unique and something that Peatone can be proud of. So what our plan is on the front of the awning here, and really, so let me back up a little bit further. When we purchased the building, we own a heating and air conditioning company in town here. We've been in Peatone for roughly 6 years. We've outgrown our space. So we wanted to keep our business locally in here in town. Again, it's where we live, it's where I was born and raised, so it's something that I hold near and dear to my heart. So we went on the search to try to find a property in town and stumbled across Teresa's Pizza building. Square footage, it's 7,000 square feet. The original building's about 5,000, and then they've done a few additions in the past, or since then, to make it 7,000. What was the original concept was to put our heating and air conditioning shop. And you wouldn't know it until you do demolition in there that there's actually 2 storefronts in that building. As we started ripping the ceiling and walls down, we discovered a tin ceiling from 1914. And I swear, when my wife walked in there, it was immediate, this is an ice cream parlor. Like, not even, and I was thinking in the back of my mind too. So we stripped down the rest of the ceiling, pulled down one of the walls, found an old, 1900 brick that was exposed, and it needed to be shown. As we started doing more demo, we realized that, and looking at the historic photos, that there's a steel beam that runs across the top, and then you'll see the little brick wall, little knee wall on the bottom. Originally, that was 12 feet of glass. So we're gonna restore that storefront back to its original intent, which is 2 storefronts. The right side is gonna be our heating and air conditioning shop, and then on the left side is gonna be the Icebox. There's a pillar, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look at the window, you see a little bump out there. There's, again, an old column from way back when they built the building. It's still in perfect shape. So I think it's kind of a cool little focal point, again, a piece of history for Peatone. On the second page, you'll see the inside of the building. So you can get a glimpse at that beautiful ceiling that's there, and then the brick wall that's on the right-hand side of the photo. Literally all those 2x4s, all that plywood will be ripped off, and then we'll have glass from top to bottom to showcase both of our businesses, our heating and air conditioning, and our ice cream business as well. This space right here is 1,400 square feet. If you flip again to the next one, you're gonna see, the photo here is taken from the front entry door looking into the space. Again, the tin ceiling follows through, the brick walls on that side. What we plan on doing is breaking our project into 2 phases. So we're gonna, this year, 2020, as long as everything with permit health department go smoothly, we're ready to have, everything's ready, we have it planned, and we'd like to open by mid-April. So where the paint stops, where the white is, that forward towards the storefront is our ice cream parlor. We'll have 32 flavors of ice cream, 2 bathrooms, the men's and the women's bathroom. There'll be tables spread out. We've got 43 occupants that can be in this space. So what we're trying to provide is somewhere for Peatone families, and really other families too, and other communities to come into our ice cream shop and be able to experience historic Peatone, but also have a spot where the families can get together, sit around a table, play an old, Monopoly board game, and burn an hour of time without staring at a TV. So the premise behind it is just some good, clean family fun that they can enjoy in downtown Peatone. Now, where the black starts, our second phase, which we, in a perfect world, will be starting on that November of this year, to open it up for spring of 2021, which would be a speakeasy. So it kind of ties in with historic Peatone, where, let's face it, we have some history of Al Capone and things like that in our roots. So my wife came up with a really neat idea to do a speakeasy in the back. Now, I know what you're thinking, another bar in Peatone. Trust me, we do not want to own a bar in Peatone. Nothing against the folks that own bars in Peatone, but it's not for us. We would have, and again, this will be something when we actually go for liquor license, but what our concept is right now is, again, to keep it family. 2 drink maximum. We're not going to have draft beer. We're not going to have bottled beer. It's 100% go into the back room, get, my wife calls it a boozy milkshake. Come back out if the liquor license allows to go back into the main parlor and be able to sit down with your family, have a cocktail responsibly. When the ice cream parlor closes, let's say at 8 p.m., it's closed. There's no speakeasy bootlegging in the back. It's legitimately closed at that time. So again, it's more to, kind of bring the familyness to Peatone, somewhere where we can all go. And it'll be a really neat showpiece of Peatone as well. On the next page is more of a floor plan. Now this one's a concept. This is not what we submitted for permits. Reason why is this shows everything. So this shows where our heating and air conditioning offices would be on the one side of the building, and then it shows the ice cream parlor with the speakeasy. For permit purposes, we're only doing phase 1, which is basically from the men and women's bathroom to the front of the building. And then, again, in the future, we'll do the speakeasy. And then after the speakeasy is complete, then we're going to work on our heating and air conditioning shop. So again, it's a project. I welcome everybody to stop by if you see our vehicles out there. We're proud of it. It's something that really looking forward to everybody in the community seeing and enjoying.
And we're very excited. I'm very excited. I know the board is too. Very excited about it, and anything that we can get to happen downtown.
It's an exciting time.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is, and we're starting to see, that movement, going forward, and we just want to continue to try to do whatever we can to help that happen.
Yeah. Any questions?
It'll be just like ice cream and milkshakes and stuff like that. You guys aren't going to be selling candy and...
Well, I'm sorry. Yes, good point. So we are doing candy.
Our plan is to have Albanese candy come in.
Okay.
And be our supplier for candy.
And then have, how do you say it, nostalgia?
Oh, the nostalgia candy. So I want to do bag candy, gummies, chocolates, all that on one side. The other side, so it's 2 sides will have 6 feet of candy. One is the penny candy, and the other side is nostalgia, flat slip, old school kind of candy.
stuff.
Yeah.
The only reason I ask is because I know there's another lady, I don't know if it's going through, but there was another shop going in right down the street on 2nd Street, very similar. So I didn't know if you guys were aware of that.
Our first business is heating and air conditioning. We're no stranger to competition. And to be honest with you, that's part of America, right?
Right,
If
no,
it wasn't
exactly.
for competition, if it wasn't for businesses competing, we would be at a stagnant one-shop market. There'd be one grocery store, there'd be
I hope you
one.
guys know that that's going on too.
Yeah, no, and I think, with our unique touch, our ties to the community, it's something I think the town really needs. I think it'll be really, really neat.
I like the way it looks.
No, I love it.
It sounds really cool.
Is there a basement in the building?
Partial. It's more of a cellar. Yes, very, very small basement, dungy basement. Yes. Crawl space. Mostly crawl space. And you think when you remodel the building from 1914 during demo that you would find something neat. I wish I had a treasure that I could show you guys. The only thing we have is window weights. That's about all that was in there. Other than that, they already got it all out.
I had the same tin ceiling. Actually,
Okay.
in the funeral home, there's a drop ceiling in there. That same tin ceiling is above that.
Is that right?
And then the furniture store, when we had to redo that in 14, I ended up having to tear all the tin out and replacing it because, so that broke my heart.
Yeah,
That broke
it's
my heart.
really, really neat.
Yeah.
It's just really neat.
Yeah.
Mid-April?
Mid-April. Again, we're waiting on permits. We're waiting on, our incorporation has already been approved by the state. So that we're ready with. I've got a crew of guys. But let's face it, February, March is not the greatest months for heating and air conditioning. So I've got a gang of guys that are ready to get in there and start doing it, just waiting on permits.
Awesome.
For the business registration, I would just say, just for cleaning up purposes, on number 14, they say the sale of liquor products, they click yes here. I would just say for maybe this
Right.
round, we just say no. And then after their next phase is complete and they maybe have the liquor that we.
Right,
they
then
could-
come
they-
back.
They could, when they re-register.
Which I think is
they
another
say
thing that
yes.
makes it special, something different, something that even folks in Frankfurt can come and
Right.
or, from different.
Melissa and I had a phone conversation a couple months ago, and when she was telling me about that, I thought, this is really cool. I mean, I think it's just a really
different.
unique idea.
Put in one of those doors with a little slot.
My original plan was to put one of the old school Coke coolers, like refrigerators, and you open up the door and then that's how you get in.
Walk
But
through.
it's
There's
the
gonna be some
walkway-
sort of secret entrance, I promise you that. There's gonna be something neat and clever.
Secret tap.
Yes,
Secret knack.
yes.
Good enough. Password.
Anything else from the trustees? Any questions? Discussion?
Great.
Yeah? Nope, awesome. Well, I would entertain a motion to approve the application for business registration for the Ice Box Creamery.
I'll motion it.
Motion by trustee Maravka, seconded by trustee Jones.
Marevka? Yes. Jones? March?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Plum?
Yes.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate
Good
it.
luck.
All right, item C, award 2020 Deco Sidewalk Project.
I think that's supposed to say DCEO.
Oh, I was wondering what Deco meant. DECO.
Now you're wondering what that means.
And Department of, yes. I just call it
Commerce and
Deco.
Economic Opportunity or something like that. But anyways, it's a grant that the village received, so it's for sidewalk and specifically, I think, sidewalk ramps and corners. So I believe it's a $100,000 grant for construction. We purposely chose, Public Works chose the locations and purposely chose a little extra in case the bids came in really low. They didn't, they came in pretty much where we expected, so I believe the plan is to scale back a little bit to, to match the grant amount once it goes to construction, but you need to award it based on the actual bid, and then you could cut back based on the same unit prices. So 2 bids were received. The low bid was J.J. Newell. They are typically the ones that have done most of the sidewalk work in town over the last few years, and Public Works is happy with them. So the recommendation would be to award to the low bidder.
So this goes back, I don't know if everybody remembers, this goes back to a phone call that I received from Representative Parkhurst back when we did not have a village administrator. And she said, can you give me a proposal like in 48 hours? We have some money that's out there that's available. So I got together with Troy and Bob and we kind of just put this together because they were talking about handicap accessible would maybe get us in the front running, and we just kind of came up with this concept and put it together, and here we are. Yeah, so this really is going to take care of a lot of those.
A lot of the ramps in
Yeah.
town that need to be fixed.
This is a 100% grant, right? It's not a matching grant?
This is,
Yeah,
it's 100%.
100%.
And it has to be done by June.
Yeah, for some reason, but maybe you can get an extension, but right now
Yeah.
we wrote into the contract that the contract's to be done by June. So that's why we want to get it done over the winter, and then they can hopefully start as soon as, spring, yeah.
Now, this is we have to pay and then we get reimbursed.
Reimbursed, right.
So hopefully the state will reimburse us. That wasn't mean of me to say.
No. So any other discussion? And if not, motion to award the low bid of J.J. Newell in the amount of $118,410 for the sidewalk project.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Ham, seconded by trustee Marevka.
Ham.
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Jones?
Yep.
March?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Item D, yes, sir.
Quick question for Troy. So Troy, they've done our sidewalks in the past, you said. So are the prices that they have here, are those similar?
They're very
Less than
similar.
What we had the last couple of years?
They are very similar. I think the sidewalk square footage cost went up 25 cents from what I remember. Other than that, the prices were almost identical than what you got.
So if we decided we wanted to do more sidewalks, you know, our regular yearly, you think it would be pretty similar?
I think they would. There's a chance it could be a little higher because you typically do a smaller job. Usually the bigger the job, the lower the unit price is.
But I mean, if we told them we wanted to do this, couldn't they do this all at the same time? You know, couldn't we?
Oh, like add on to the project?
Yeah, I mean, I know it would, it doesn't have anything to do with the grant, but I mean, with this J&J Newell, you know, want to come out here and knock off two jobs at once.
Yeah, I'm sure they would, and that's kind of what you guys did last year, where you went with them.
Because we even have a bid last time?
No, because you waived competitive
Yeah, we
bidding.
waived it.
Yeah.
Just because of the kind of the lack of bidders, and there's, you know, not many that
I just
bid
thought-
on these.
And if you look at the disparity in the bid, of the two bids that we got there, it was a significant
Right,
difference.
I'm just
So it's-
thinking,
And I think J.J. Newell already agreed to match their prices from last year if the village wants to do that again.
What is the cost? Sidewalk's 4 feet wide, that's 4 square feet. What's the cost per square foot?
$775 right here, on at least this one, but that's just the concrete, that's not counting the aggregate base or the restoration or the curb and gutter or the sidewalk ramps, so, I mean, if you put it all together, you could do the math, but
But if you were just running straight new sidewalks, you wouldn't have all that, so it's $775 a square foot?
well, you still need to excavate if you're running a brand new sidewalk, and you need the base and any restoration still, so it'd be more than that.
When we do, when we ask for escrow from a contractor, then we do $15 a square foot for escrow for sidewalks in a subdivision. That's what we ask them to put in escrow.
So it'd be about $60 a running foot.
All right, item D, complete streets policy.
Can we just kind of run through what I did at the committee meeting?
Sure.
This is a policy for the streets that are in town already, that this policy kind of comes up with a plan and a way the village can implement, making the existing roads usable for all transportation, including pedestrian and bicycle and vehicles. So one of the reasons the village is doing this is, I mentioned earlier, applying for the West Street grant from the Will County Governmental League. When you have the complete streets policy in place, you get extra points towards your grant application. So that's kind of why that triggered the village to do this, but it's still a good thing to have. It comes up with a plan for the village to, when planning or designing projects, to incorporate the complete street elements, and it follows what CMAP has laid out for the template, and it could always be expanded on in the future.
Questions, discussion? So it'd be just a motion to adopt the complete streets policy for the village of Peatone. That's sufficient.
so moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Bowden, seconded by trustee March.
Bowden?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Marevka?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Item E, ordinance, we will table that because they were not available to be here to give their presentation, so they'll be back at the last meeting in March, correct? we need just a motion to table that, or we can just table it?
It can just be tabled. Was that last meeting in March?
Yes. Yes, the second meeting in March. Right. Questions of the press? No press present. Correspondence, communications, petitions. We talked about snow. Don't park on the street when it's snowing. Talked about village stickers. Don't forget your village stickers. Anything
Another
else?
sidewalk question.
Okay.
If an individual person wants to replace, I know in the past, I think the contractor works with the public, if you want a sidewalk put in, or from the sidewalk to the street or whatever, can they contact the contractor and have them, if they want to pay for their own in front of their sidewalk, and will they get the same rate as
Is that, I mean, if it's in this, on the same street or in the same area, I'm sure the contractor might be open to that, but that's a question, you know, we'd have to ask the contractor.
Would you do that?
Yeah, I could ask.
And then a smooth avenue that they could contact the contractor to set something like that up. Because there may be a number of people that, hey, I'd just like to have this done, but
Right.
you know, makes it very simple.
Okay. Try to find out.
And dog tags too are due.
Dog tags. Don't forget your dog tags.
There's at the end of this month.
Time is fun.
Any update on that house over that way and to the east that's?
207 Hickory.
Sure.
They are actually in process of containing the openings, if that's a good way to put it.
Sealing it up.
There you go. So we did meet with Mr. Presto, the attorney, and myself, met with Mr. Presto, and came to an agreement that by March 1st, he would contain it with actual windows, doors, a garage door, replace the
Tieback.
Tyvek.
and then we would still put him in default, but that we would kind of hold off going any further with the legal action until he contained the property for safety reasons. And then by June 1st, he has to have occupancy, or, you know, he'll pull a permit to finish the rest of the house. And then by June 1st, we would want it totally complete.
Oh, great.
So that's where we are with that. And he was out there working today.
Cool.
So we'll see if he can comply with all that before we
That's great.
go forward.
What about the house on Crawford Street that is kind of in the same shape, except it is sealed up, but it's...
That,
Yeah.
I believe I know which one you're talking about, and that building permit has expired, and so that hasn't had any activity on it,
How
so,
many, yes, close to a year.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have a time frame that houses have to be completed, or is it on an individual basis?
Yeah, no, I mean, they're supposed to be completed within the building permit. I mean, building permit's good for a year. They can get an extension, but, yeah, I mean, the purpose is not to have a house sitting there and, forever undone, so.
I don't know if we can reach out to find out what their intentions are, at least.
Yeah, I'll talk to Tom Pinky
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah. Good. Anything else from the board?
Are people still pulling permits for new houses and stuff?
Yeah, not a lot, but they are.
Still some activity?
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. I can get you, like a number, if you want.
Well, there's one going up in Gull Landings, I saw, and is anything in Westgate right now or not? Yeah, if we can just get a report, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Last couple of years, we've been reviewing more than we have in the
Right,
previous couple
yeah.
of years, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I see a lot more, but
I don't think they're in the double digits, but
Great. If nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the board meeting.
Motion. Second.
Motion by trustee Parker, seconded by trustee Jones.
Parker. Jones.
Yes.
March.
Yes.
Maravka.
yes.
Bowden.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned.